What's up guys, Escaped Alien here. So I thought it's about time for me to do another Metazoo recent pickups video. The last one I did was, I think, like April 5th or 6th. So it definitely got away from me. I was trying to get these done more like every 1 to 2 months, but looks like there's a lot more to cover this time around. And for the sake of me being able to put stuff away and properly curate my collection, I need to be getting these done a little bit sooner. So definitely have a lot to cover. I'm going to try to go through it as quickly as possible. But I always think these videos are fun. I love watching other community members show off what they're purchasing, you know, their unboxing videos or where their collections are at. So for the sake of this video, everything that's in here are things that I bought off the secondary market. I'm not going to include things that I've already submitted to PSA and shown in PSA show-off videos. So this is just going to be strictly things that I've bought off the secondary market. So before we get into it, let's go ahead and switch to human hands. Now that's better. Okay, so first what we'll show, and I should also say that all the cards in this video are going to be cards that are kind of more rare. So if I got little odds and ends here and there that I don't think have the rarity behind them or the uniqueness, then I'm not going to show them in this video. It's just going to be cards that, you know, it's stuff that I would consider to be worthy of being graded eventually. Even if I'm not going to grade it for the condition's sake, but it would be a card that I'd be chasing for a slab eventually. So these are going to be raw cards that are cool to have in the collection, but upon inspecting for condition or centering, they're not going to be slab worthy. So they're just ending up being cool binder copies. So first of all, we have a participation medal from an LGS. I actually got 2 of those. So I'd love to have this in a slab at some point. But for now, these are just going to be binder copies. Pretty fun card. Hopkinsville Goblin, 2 of them playing against each other. Next up, we have a Cumberland Spaceman, but this one is stamped Caster's. I think it's let's see, Caster's Cup. So I've always loved this promo in general, or this artwork in general, rather. A few different promo versions of it that we know of. Obviously, there's the LGS version, as well as this one. I'm not sure if there's any others out there. Maybe there's like a Playtester one. Okay, then we have the recovered biologics, and I'm sorry, I'm going to angle this so that the glare doesn't get in the way as much as possible. So disclosure pages, really love the disclosure pages, wish I got more of them, especially the first one. But going to try to eventually see if I can get these in a slab. We have the disclosure files from disclosure pages, full hollow there. HeroQuest UFO. So this one I was really pulling for it to be in good condition. Everything on the card seemed you know, decent in the beginning, but then when I checked the back, there was some kind of weird scratches on it. So unfortunately, this is just going to be a binder copy for now, but I think this would be a really dope card to have in a slab eventually. Then we have Earth Tower. So these promos from the towers are super cool. We got Sinkhole Sam featured in this one. So this one, centering wise, the left is too heavy for grading. So the cryptid cams, I think these are super cool. This is actually probably one of my more desired card type from the Topps product line. So didn't collect a lot of Topps. I probably will eventually, because I'm kind of just checking boxes off as I go through my Metazoo collection and you know, where prices are at, picking things up. But these cryptid cams are really dope. Now this whole stack is going to be playtesters, so I tried to only go for playtesters that had some kind of hollow in them, whether full hollow or reverse hollow, or they were kind of more on the rarity. So we have Goofus Bird, got 2 of those, and part of my reasoning with the playtesters, one, I'm trying to build up my playtester collection. I am finally starting to get a little bit of a bigger collection, but 2, would love to have some of these playtester cards in slabs. So these are all the ones, unfortunately, that are not going to be gradable for one reason or another. So 2 Goofus Birds there. a reverse hollow cement worm, 2 Martian bees in reverse hollow, drowned pianist in reverse hollow, kissy bug, a barking spider, hag of Detroit, mince pie Martian, Wingok, Frost Shield, Hidden Grove Orb, Ghost of the Sloss Furnaces, Calcified Dunes Orb, and now we're starting to get to our full hollows. So Hidden Grove Orb, maybe I switched that up a little bit. Brown Mountain Lights, Heat Lightning Orb, another Hidden Grove Orb, the Manchac Swamp Sunken Skeletons, Ghost of the Sloss Furnaces. I've gotten a few copies of this. I really want this in a PSA 10, but for whatever reason, centering always seems to be really bad on that card. Cisco Grove Entities, another Sunken Skeletons in full hollow, Glacial Demon, Copenhagen Devil, Sunken Gravestone, Brown Mountain Lights, another Ghost of the Sloss Furnaces, another bad centering, Frozen Rain Orb, Drowned Sea Orb, Hatman, and Awful. I'd love to get Awful in a Playtester PSA 10. It's definitely one of my favorite arts from Wilderness. Love that card. Alright, let me just clean these up a little bit since they're sliding around. Okay, so next up, what I have... Now, these are going to be pickups that I am planning on sending in for grading as, over time. So I kind of try to mix up my PSA submissions. If you guys obviously follow my PSA submissions, you'll see a mix of games in there. So eventually all of these should make it into a PSA sub. So we have a full hollow Kickstarter, Metal Man of Alabama, can never go wrong with Kickstarter. A reverse hollow Bigfoot from Kickstarter. And with the reverse hollows with Kickstarter, I figured, if I eventually run out of full hollow cards, these are good for kind of some, fodder for future subs, because it's still a Kickstarter card. I mean, I'm of the opinion any card that has hollowing in Kickstarter that's in good condition, good centering, it's worthy of grading eventually. This is a cool one. So I believe this was the Ambassador promo series. And I think these were not supposed to be released. So I actually got this in a bulk buy. It's the, what do they call this? Mania or something? Mania. But super cool card. It's nice having something that most people probably won't have. So even if that doesn't get a PSA 10, I think it's worthy of getting into a slab. Another Black Mass, shout out Frankly Collecting. I know that's your favorite card there. But another Revive card. So I have this card without the scratch portion in a PSA 10 already. They actually mislabeled it. They mislabeled it as a scratched Black Mass, but I kind of like having that PSA error. So I decided against sending it back in to get re-slabbed. But I really love this particular artwork for Black Mass. So when I saw this one, got it for a decent enough price. I want to get it in a slab eventually. And let me know, do you guys think that I should scratch it before I send it in? Because obviously we don't, I'm assuming none of us are going to be able to ever redeem these boards again. But if somebody ends up buying Metazoo, is it worth it for me to get the code off of there and save the code just in case? I'd like community members' opinions on that. Okay, then we have Spooklight from Spookala. Really cool promo there. Kind of a simple little cryptid there, but I mean, if you look at the background of that, I think that's rad. Don't know exactly which cryptid is in the background, kind of surrounding him with his hands, but really cool promo. Alright, D-Bruise and Metazoo collab. So I thought this one was really fun. You got Bigfoot actually holding the Mothman shirt. So I was definitely happy to grab that one. Alright, then a Snulligaster. So not the most desirable as far as the cryptids for people collecting, but this one is serialized out of 99, so I figured why not get it slabbed up. I'm not sure this is actually going to get a PSA 10, but I really like having serialized cards in a slab to preserve them. Okay, another handful of playtesters. These ones actually do have a shot at a PSA 10, condition-wise and centering-wise, so just a Sackabilly, reverse holo, Black Helicopter, reverse holo, Mountain Boomer, full holo, Frozen Rain Orb, full holo, Planchette, really love this artwork, that's in a full holo, Hatman in full holo, Token Sitter in full holo, and a Foo Fighters in full holo. So this one, I think it's a little more of a desirable playtester card, but this particular card does have a little bit more on the right than the left as far as centering goes, and there's a little markup there, but I think it's desirable enough that it's still worth submitting in the, trying to get it slabbed eventually. Okay, then we have some pretty cool stuff because it's a little more unique. So this is going to be a series of signature and doodle cards. So this is Jet Yates, Cumberland Dragon with a doodle on it. Pretty dang sick. Then we have a Kelsey Cicchino Snipe with a doodle on it. Another one of those spook lights. Poncho signed it, 2022. Severed Limb from Hero Quest. Poncho signed this one, 2022. A Jersey Devil by Victor Larson with a doodle on it. Super sick. Jersey Devil's got to be one of my favorite cryptids. Then we have a CN1 Sam Sinclair by Victor Larson, signed on it. Love having that signature. Metal Man of Alabama, signed by Victor Larson. This one's not serialized or anything, but still just really cool having the artist signature on that card. Then we have a Chibi Bigfoot from Pin Club. This is Afton, signed, 2022. Super dope card here. So we have another one with multiple signatures. Whoever got this signed definitely put some money into it. Chibi Jackalope. So it's by Sebastian Botello. But we have a number of signatures on here. So 5 signatures on that card. Pretty dang sick. And last but not least, Kelsey Cicchino signed CN1 Mothman with a doodle on it. How badass is that? It's actually my second signed Chelsea Cicchino Mothman from CN1, and both of them have a doodle. The first one I got, I believe she used a pink pen when she signed it, so this one she used white. But super sick. Can't go wrong with having those in the collection. So all of those will eventually be slabbed. I'm not worried about centering and condition so much on the signed or doodled cards, because those are, they're obviously, if it gets a better grade, then that just helps. That's really cool to have, but just more concerned about preserving the signatures and the doodles. As I've said before, having the artist actually physically hold a particular card that has their artwork on it, sign it, doodle it, definitely makes it a lot more special, a lot more unique. So I'm a big fan of artist signed and doodled stuff. Okay, so that's going to do it for our raw cards in this show off. So now we're going to move on to slabs. So let me just pull these off a little bit at a time, because I bought a ton of slabs over the last few months. So first we're going to start off with something that most people would probably be confused by, a bunch of Cryptid Nation 2nd edition slabs, or a group of them. My philosophy with this is, I would never pay over grading cost for these. So these are cards that I probably got for maybe $7 or less. And if I can get it for that kind of half of grading fee cost, these are cards that I would never grade myself. So it's like, if you were ever going to own these cards as a slab, the only way that makes sense is that somebody else graded them for whatever reason, and you got them for cheaper than grading fee. And that's kind of my philosophy. It's like, I would never own these in a slab otherwise, so if I can get them cheap enough, I'm willing to pay the price for them. So that's a Bigfoot reverse holo. Got a full holo Babe the Blue Ox, full holo Loveland Frogman, full hollow Mothman blister promo, and then a reverse hollow Mothman. So I would definitely not pay too much for anything CN2 slabbed up. Okay, next up I'm going to be covering Wilderness Slabs. So big fan of the Wilderness sets. Okay, so starting off, we have a Stoneman full hollow. And again, even with Wilderness, same thing. I'm not going to pay over grading fee. It has to be less than grading fee most of the time. Certain cards I'll pay at least the grading fee for. But we have a full hollow Stoneman, full hollow Snipe, full hollow Cumberland Dragon, full hollow Iowa Dragon, full hollow Dragon of Oconto Falls, the, I don't know how to pronounce that, try not to say a bad word here, Flock Monster. Hopefully I didn't get that too wrong. But this one has that Wilderness stamp, so that's going to be from a deck. Kind of cool to have those deck stamp promos in there. And of course it's got the little symbol at the bottom, those deck. Anything that comes from the decks, they always have that deck symbol at the bottom. Then we have an Awful, one of my favorite cards from Wilderness by far. And then we have an eBay stamped Awful. Super cool to have kind of a more rare variant of that. And then the last card for Wilderness is an eBay stamped Nameless token hollow. So that's going to be that box topper for those eBay Wilderness boxes. So pretty dope to have that in a 10. Next up, we have some Nightfall. So with Nightfall, kind of got some ones that, again, these ones were cheap enough to where I would have never graded them. These are cards I would never have submitted myself, so if I can get them cheap enough, once again, put them in the collection. So, Tehihan in reverse hollow. Not sure why people, maybe this was graded during like the really big Metazoo hype, because I was trying to figure out like why anybody would really submit these, but I'm sure I got it for pretty dang cheap. Reverse hollow Obsidian Obelisk. Wood Devil of Ku's Country, reverse hollow. The Red Ghost, reverse hollow. Then we have a CGC 10, Born from the Earth. Really cute artwork. But not a huge CGC collector, but if I can get those cheap enough, I'll pick them up. And then very dope, got this from Nick Strength and Pokemon, the Nightfall Full Hollow Mothman in PSA 10. Can never go wrong having those. Alright, so now we are moving on to some Cryptid Nation First Edition. A little bit more desirable here. So we have a Chaos Crystal in full hollow. Once upon a time, quite a big hit to get. But noticing the prices on these is going down quite a bit. I picked up a couple of these actually. And I want to say I got these for like an average price of like $7 or $8 in PSA 10. So I got one from Nick Strength and Pokemon, and then I think I got one from, I'm sure he's watching, Metazoo Menace. So not sure what happened with this card. Everybody used to chase this card quite a bit. But two of those in PSA 10. Then we have a Beast of Busco in a PSA 10. CGC Silver Bullet, full hollow in 10. Piazza Bird in 10, CGC. Then we have a PSA 10 Bigfoot. Noticing the price on this seems to be going up, so I got really lucky picking this up for the price that I did. And we have a Sam Sinclair CN1 in PSA 10. Pretty sick. Okay. Let's grab a stack here. So these are going to be kind of more random cards. So Abominable Snowman from Christmas 2020. This is only 2nd edition, so I got this one a lot cheaper. But that's a full holo. New Year's, New Beginnings, and 2nd edition. I'd like to get this in 1st edition as a slab eventually, but 2nd edition for pretty cheap, can't go wrong. New Year's Celebrations. So for those of you that don't know, you can pick up these cards for below grading costs pretty much all day long. These are always going up. A ton of these got graded, but it's a very dope promo. Got the Loveland Frogman in there, and it's kind of cool. It's almost like a shiny variant of Loveland. He's got yellow on instead of his conventional purple, but super cool card there. Then we have a 1st edition 4th of July promo. Very, very dope card. Loveland Mailman. So I always wanted a Loveland Mailman card. This is from the Marketplace. It was like one of those Marketplace promo purchases. This one's only in a PSA 9, but for those of us that have been around in Metazoo for a while, these cards used to be very expensive, so I never picked one up back in the day, but I actually got this for below grading costs. Obviously, I try to stick to buying PSA 10 slabs, but I figured with how cheap this went, it's still a dope card to have, so eventually I'll get a PSA 10, but the 9's kind of the filler in my collection for now. Pin Club. Pin Club was a pretty sick collab. I was actually a pretty big fan of the Pin Club series. Babe the Blue Ox, full holo with the Pin Club stamp in the corner, PSA 10, and a Wendigo PSA 10 from Pin Club. Can't go wrong with Wendigo. Alright, and my last stack of slabs. So, always with the Silver Party token, I've gotten a few of these. I mean, I own a little handful of the Silver Party token. It's the cheapest of the tokens. It's the most common. There's 750 out there. But I finally got a PSA 10 of it. I've said it before. I'm not really chasing PSA 10s, but this was a bundle deal, and I'll show you the card that it was bundled with. So, just stoked that I got one of PSA 10. So now I'm going to list the other ones for sale. I don't need the extras. But this is the card I was after. So the seller had both this card and this card as one, so I was mainly after the Air Silver Mothman token. These are only out of 200. Not a super high grade. It got an 8. I feel like an 8 still, you know, a decent grade to have in some of these more rare cards, but I was more trying to check off another box with having another one of these NFT coins, so super stoked to have that Air Mothman coin. Then we have a Wendigo 2 Arms from WPT. Insane artwork there by Jet Yates. Purple background, super cool. They did a great job with the promos from this set. Mothman to Arms with the purple background. This one by Lily. Very cool artwork. And then we have another Mothman to Arms, this time with the red background. And that is by Kelsey Ticino. Another fantastic artwork there. Those were all in PSA 10. Then we have a Neutrality Totality Aura from UFO. Can't go wrong with having these in a slab. Besides serialized rares, you know, this is the hit of the set. So having any of those in PSA 10 is just sick. Then we have a Contracted, and this is from PCG, so that's Rudy's grading company. So, as I said before, not a huge Topps Chrome collector, but this is dope. It's like that, what's that artwork called? Like Birth of Adam or something like that. So play on that with Ding Bell there. So I thought that was a cute enough card. This is serialized out of 50. Can't go wrong with serialization. But I don't have very much PCG. PCG's cool. I mean, they're way heavier slabs than most other slab companies. And I think that's due in part by the fact that they use a metal engraved label on them. So the quality on PCG is pretty sick. They're thicker than most of the slabs. But, you know, the market wants PSA, so that's what I tend to stick to, just in case I do ever have to sell parts of my collection. Everybody knows PSA. Alright, then we have the Dim Mak Mothman. Super sick card there. That's from the Dim Mak collaboration, blind box, PSA 10. That might have been a Menace card. but love having that in the collection. So this one was a gift from an eBay seller. Been buying a lot of stuff from this person. They've been listing quite a bit of things, and because I bought so much, they decided to send me this as a gift. Super kind of them. So it's a Dark Shard Meteorite Full Hollow in PSA 9. So if you're watching this, shout out to you. Really appreciate that. And whenever I receive a gift like that, never goes up for sale. Always stays in the collection. And we have a Men in Black CGC 10. Can't go wrong with having more Men in Black. And speaking of Men in Black, I saved the best for last in my opinion from this. This was a gift from Metazoo Menace. Men in Black First Edition PSA 10. And I wanted something unique from Metazoo Menace. I've said it before, but I love having cards from community members and creating these memories with the friends that I meet online. So Metazoo Menace was kind enough to send me this in PSA 10, and he also doodled on it. And I know some people might think, oh, you shouldn't put that on a slab or something like that, draw on the slab, but I was really stoked that he did that. Because although Men in Black is a difficult hit to get in UFO, which I've been so lucky to get 2 hits myself, and I already have Men in Black now in, slabs, and I'll keep buying these if they come up cheap enough. So even though it's a difficult hit, it is not such a crazy card that you can't get to it. I mean, I think you can buy them raw for less than $10. Yeah, I much prefer to have something from a community member that, I love Metazoo Menace, I love all his videos, and to have something unique from him, that's super special. So this is going to be in the collection forever. Shout out Metazoo Menace. I really appreciate this card, and it's going to be cherished. So that is going to do it for this show-off video. Maybe I'll kind of splay these out a little bit, try to get myself a thumbnail. But yeah, I'm hoping, I said it last time, but I'm really hoping that I'm not going to wait as long on these because this is a lot to show off. Yeah, I'll just do this. Yeah, but definitely a lot to show off when I wait too long on them. But, who can beat these prices on Metazoo? And kind of seems like we've been getting a little bit of an uptick. I've been noticing a lot of the cards that I've been wanting for a long time are finally starting to go up in price. And, I know in one regard that's a good thing, but in another regard, I was kind of fine with where Metazoo was at because I wanted to collect so much more. There were so many cards that I couldn't afford, and, they just got way too crazy with their prices. And for me, it was kind of a nice break that I could just pick up all these cards finally for a reasonable price. So hopefully it doesn't skyrocket too much. I'm noticing for the most part it's the cards that you would expect, that were chase cards that are kind of going up in price. So that's to be expected to a degree. But still can't complain. Look at how much I picked up, and picking them up for really pennies on the dollar of what a lot of these cards should be. So anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys. I know this is a longer video. I appreciate you guys sticking around. It's about a half an hour at this point. But super fun doing these show-off videos. Hopefully I'll do them a little more frequently. Maybe I can get it down to a 15-20 minute video in the future. But let me know in the comments what you think about my pickups. If you got any thoughts on it, if you got any favorite cards in there. Shout out to everybody who gave me the deals on so many of these cards. Metazoo Menace, Nick Strength, and Pokemon, you eBay sellers out there. I really appreciate the prices that you're willing to list these at and accept. And until next time, I guess I'll see you guys later. This has been Escaped Alien. Peace.